take notes, brothers and sisters, and write a lot. This brain that we have, brothers and sisters, if you don't challenge it and you don't push it to its limits, the brain becomes slow and it becomes low. The person starts to become very immature. That person's mind is so low. It's only because this person has not in any way, shape or form expanded their thinking process. They've not challenged their mind, try to see things and look into things. So whenever something becomes hard, brothers and sisters, if you throw yourself back and say, oh, this is not for me, I'm not fast at, mashallah, learning things, these kind of equations and these kind of principles, I won't be able to understand it. If you say that to yourself, brothers and sisters, you're never going to grow. Mentally, you're not going to grow. Challenge this brain. Every information that anyone tries to tell you, put your finger up if you don't understand it. Say, I don't understand this. Can you explain it to me, inshallah ta'ala? And open your mind and heart to take that information, whatever it is. If it's scientific equations, maths, if it's Arabic language, whatever it is, open your mind to learn things, to understand things. Whatever you do, brothers and sisters, don't become a hamaj, ra'a, atba'i kulli na'iq. Someone says something, you just take it and you say it straight away without understanding it. Try to understand it. Try to take it in. Take it in with understanding. And I remember, wallahi, in my course of my talab, my seeking knowledge, there were times when I felt shy maybe to ask the Shaykh this question. Maybe because I thought it wasn't the right time, or I thought the Shaykh might see me in a certain way, or etc. It happens to a lot of students of knowledge. That information became hard for me to understand it years later as well. And I could have understood it if I just put my finger up and said, Shaykh, at this point I didn't understand it. There was one certain brother I remember, subhanallah, he would always ask questions if he didn't understand it. He was never embarrassed to ask. And he was never embarrassed to say, I still haven't understood it. And he didn't care what people said about him. And guess what, brothers and sisters? He became one of the best students that I'd seen in my life when it comes to seeking knowledge. Because he asked. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma was asked, كيف حصلت العلم? How did you attain knowledge? And he said, بلسان سؤول. I asked questions. I asked the right questions. Asking questions is important, brothers and sisters. Of course, you ask a question once you've tried to understand it and you're still not understanding it. But you daze off and you just think about other things and then you come back and you say, Sheikh, what did he say? Repeat yourself. That's a problem on your side. Focus. You still didn't understand it. You tried, you still didn't understand it. Don't be shy to ask. Brothers and sisters, challenge your brain. Wallah. Challenge it. Push it to its limits. Because the brain, amazing enough, it can understand a lot of things. It can memorize a lot of things. It's like your stomach. Stomach, if you eat a lot, it asks for more. It demands for more. And if you eat little, the stomach becomes small. The brain is the same. If it takes in more, it asks for more and it expands. The more you put it, the more it expands. The more you put it, the more it expands. And the more it can memorize and learn. So this is my advice. Sarf is not hard. It is not hard. But it's tricky. It's not hard. It's not something you can't attain. It just needs focus. Other classes you can daze off, you can come back and you still understand where the Shaykh is, what he's talking about. Sarf, the minute he opens his mouth until he says Subhanakallahumma bihamdih, all of that you have to be listening, writing down, listening, writing down, listening. And some people, brothers and sisters, that's what they don't like. That's what's hard on them. I can't focus all through that. They want to pick up their phone, they want to do this and they want to do that. So inshallah ta'ala, in summary, what I'm trying to say is, brothers and sisters, just because something's hard doesn't mean you have to walk away from it. If you do walk away from it, then what you have admitted to is that that thing can determine your outcome. That thing can choose for you what you can or can't do. Never should you let anything tell you that you can't do it. No, I can do it and I will do it, and you go forward for it. I remember the line of poetry that I mentioned before the Dawra Ilmiya started. اطلب ولا تضجر من مطلب فآفة الطالب أن يضجره. أما ترى الماء بتكراره في الصخرة الصماء قد أثره. Seek knowledge and go far and be consistent and keep going, keep going, keep going. And don't give up. The worst thing a student of knowledge can suffer from, brothers and sisters, is what? The worst thing a person can suffer from is to give up. That's the worst thing for a talib ilm. To say, you know what, I've done it, I can't do it anymore. That's the worst thing a student of knowledge can suffer from. The poet then said, فَآفَةُ الطَّالِبِ أَن يَضْجَرَ. When the harm for a student of knowledge is to give up and say, I can't do this anymore. أَمَا تَرَى الْمَاءَ. Do you not see the water? بِتَكْرَارِهِ, with its repetition, فِي الصَّخْرَةِ الصَّمَّاءِ قَدْ أَثَّرَ, that it was able to affect a rock. Water. بِلَطَافَتِهِ. Water that's soft, delicate, was able to penetrate rock and make a dent inside a rock. How? Repetition. Repetition. Consistently, the water kept dropping on that particular or that certain place of the rock. Finally, it became black and it dented it. You're telling me you can't you can't pierce through knowledge like that? You can't dent through knowledge? Sarf and Nahu. They said a man one day wanted to study Nahu and Sarf, and it was so complicated. It became very hard for him. Very hard. He tried his best. He tried. Some things just did not make sense to him. So he got up and he went towards he went outside and he said, you know what, Sarf and Nahu is not for me. I'm going to go. And guess what he did? He went to the well to get water for himself out of and he threw his bucket in, wanted to get water out, and he saw the rope that was holding the bucket and also attached to the well that was going down and up, how it was making a mark on the rock. Rope was making a mark on the rock, and it made a dent in the rock. So he looked and he looked and he looked and he saw the rope, how it was making a line when it went up and down, how it made a line on the rock. And he said, Subhanallah, who's stronger, both of them? And the rope is not, the rock is stronger. The rope is not as strong as the rock. But the rope won when it came to continuation. Which one of them won? The rope won. How? The rope was consistently doing it to one spot, one certain spot, and it made a mark on it. So for him, I can't do the same. I am not able to. This is where the issue came from for him. And then he went and he said, I am not going to let Nahu, or Sarf, stop me from, I'm not going to feel, or I'm not going to be a person who feels that I can't attain knowledge. I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to exert the efforts that I needed, and I'm going to make sure I do it. And he went and he sought knowledge. They say a man, his name was Khalid al-Azhari. His name was what? His name was Khalid al-Azhari. Khalid al-Azhari, they say that he used to pour tea for the students in Jami'at al-Azhar. He was, محبا للخير, he loved khair, he loved doing good. Okay? So one day he poured tea for one of the students in the Jami'ah. Or was it Jami'ah al-Azhar? Was it the masjid? I don't know. Was it the university? Allahu a'lam. But he was pouring tea for the students. And one of the students, his notes, Khalid al-Azhari poured tea on it. And the student said, Ya Jahil, oh you ignorant man. Khalid al-Azhari, the statement, you ignorant man, hurt him so badly. Hated it. Ali ibn Abi Talib said once upon a time, he said, كَفَى بِالْعِلْمِ شَرَفًا أَنْ يَدَّعِيهِ مَنْ لَا يُحْسِنُهُ وَكَفَى بِالْجَهْلِ قُبْحًا أن يتبرأ منه من هو فيه. Enough for knowledge is everybody will claim it, even the one who doesn't have it. And ignorance, enough to show you how evil ignorance is. Every single person will free himself from ignorance, even the one who is ignorant. So he was like, ignorant? He put down the tea, went, and they said he sought knowledge. And he sought, at an old age, Khalid al-Azhari, he sought the knowledge of what? Of Nahu. And was considered one of the greatest grammarians of our time. Yani prolific in grammar. Nahu and Lugha al-Arabiya, he was good. Became solid and great in that regard. Okay? He wrote many books. مؤصل الطلاب, موصل الطلاب, however you want to say it. He wrote في قواعد الإعراب. And he wrote a kitab called قواعد الإعراب. He explained it, called it موصل الطلاب, مؤصل الطلاب, where he teaches the student the principles of الإعراب. He gives you قواعد رحمه الله رحمة واسعة. So what my point is, brothers and sisters, is do not give up. Just don't give up. The other day I watched a video online on YouTube where there was a turtle and it was a rabbit. They were racing. The rabbit, every time it runs, it stops and it looks around. But the turtle, slow and steady. It's just going and going and going and going. Guess who won? The turtle won the race. The turtle won the race. Why? It's not who goes fast. Just because there's a brother in the class or there's a sister in your class and she's fast in understanding things and they taking the information quick does not necessarily mean that they're going to pass you. Sometimes it's just slow and steady. Just keep going. Consistency and continuation, you will get there inshaAllah ta'ala. And ask Allah for help. If Allah doesn't aid you, وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا, ask Allah for aid and support, and inshaAllah ta'ala you will attain it. So that was a little encouragement for some of the students who are there, who are trying, they're coming every day, and they feel like, this is maybe not for me, I can't do this. Just inshallah ta'ala, I hope this is an encouragement for you to not stop. Bi-idhnillahi al-kareem. And my bad explanation shouldn't be a reason for it to put you off. Maybe there's someone else out there, inshallah ta'ala, who's good in explaining these concepts and better in articulating these points, that you could learn it better from them. Just don't let it put you off when it comes to seeking knowledge, brothers and sisters. This is something great, something prolific. Go towards it. Go towards it. So I ask Allah tabarak wa ta'ala bimanihi wa karamihi. I ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah makes it easy for me. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla. Oh Allah, there's nothing easy except that which you make easy. Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilma yanfa'una wa la taj'al fi ma 'allamtana wa balan 'alayna.